What is going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are looking at the Thursday 3-game early slate, where it is, listen, short slates. You got to get a little creative with it. There's going to be some mega chalk on this slate, notably in the Colorado-Philadelphia game, where we have what I think might be a season-high game total of 9.5 expected runs over-under in that game, as Taijuan Walker and Antonio Senzatella are taking the mound. Neither are exactly pitching well. Walker did not have a great spring, did not have a great year last year. Barely made the rotation, I think, because Ranger Suarez landed on IL. The only reason Walker even made the rotation. And then Senzatella, who, famously, we took the over 2.5 earned runs against Tampa Bay the other day. He gave up 8 hits and just managed to avoid all runs being scored against him. Tampa Bay had 2 guys thrown out at home to end innings. Got lucky. Unlikely to get lucky here. Philadelphia's team run total set at 5.5 in this game. So we're going to be stacking a lot of Phillies, probably a lot of Rockies in our offensive lineups here. So when it comes to pitching on a short slate, you're essentially axing out one whole game. You have 4 starters to pick from, and on DraftKings, you need 2. So good luck. Good luck there. You got Houston, Minnesota, Boston, Baltimore finishing out the series for them there. Hunter Brown, Joe Ryan, Tanner Houck, Charlie Morton, the other 4 starters on this slate. Grande, we talk about it. There comes a time in every slate where it's okay to pitch opposing pitchers against one another. This may be that day. We may just be going Hunter Brown and Joe Ryan and trying to figure out the rest of the lineups around them. They are the 2 most expensive pitchers as well, though. And sometimes on shorter slates, there aren't a ton of value. So assuming those are the top 2 pitchers, and you're looking at Boston-Baltimore, would you prefer Tanner Houck, who surprisingly looked good, but he didn't against Texas, or Charlie Morton against a Boston offense that maybe woke up on Wednesday?
Can't believe you're just disrespecting Taijuan Walker and Antonio Senzatella like this.
Well, I did such a big lead in that we weren't going to use them. It's kind of hard
to. Who do I prefer? Boy. It's a tough one. I would say Houck if there's no Gunnar Henderson. That's kind of like the elephant in the room. Is Gunnar going to be back Thursday or Friday?
Sure.
I'm sure if he feels like he's probably going to push Baltimore to come back Thursday, even though they want him to come back Friday, right? So I will say Houck, but I don't feel good about either. You had talked about it a lot, about Tanner Houck and how poorly he pitched during the spring.
Yeah.
And that translated into the opening day, or his opening start. He walked too many guys. Too many guys on base. There was 10. I mean, there's so much traffic.
A lot of this again, as a Red Sox fan, to watch this game, he was actually very good for the first 5 innings of that game. They had no business sending him back out for the 6th. They should have just said good job, Tanner, and they didn't. And walks, hits, gave up the runs, lost the game, gave up the homer, and that was kind of down for him there. Boston is a very slight road favorite in this game. This game, by the way, also now up to 9.5. I think when you and I looked at it earlier, I think it was 9.
Yeah.
It's 9.5 now. So this game is also set at 9.5. Boston is a minus 112 money line favorite. But as I said before, the top game, Houston, Minnesota, just 7 over under in that one. So a significant drop in terms of expected run total. I would probably lean in your direction as well with Tanner Houck. Especially this is a day game after a night game, a getaway day. Who knows who's not going to be in the lineups for these teams, right? Regulars more than likely sit in these situations. Maybe there'll be no Adley Rutschman and no Gunnar Henderson and things like that for Baltimore, or Boston could finally sit Rafi Devers, though I wouldn't after he finally had a couple of hits on Wednesday. So But I would lean. I mean, we thought Morton was done at the end of last year. Had a horrible spring. Got lit up in his first start of the year. It would be Houck for me if you're not double stacking Brown Ryan.
Can I tell you what the expected Tanner Houck numbers look like on opening day?
Sure.
Because they are very bad.
Well, he doesn't strike anybody out, so that's it's never gonna go well for him there, right?
So he had the 6.35 ERA, right? The expected ERA 8.61.
Yeah.
xFIP 6.11. So there's not a lot to say.
Yeah,
positively.
when you put a lot of balls in play, you're not usually looked at favorably by sabermetrics, especially no strikeouts, right? You're not a strikeout guy.
He also needs to get more ground balls because he's had a 50% ground ball rate basically for 3 straight years. So he needs to rely more on a ground ball, right? Yeah. I mean, just as a Morton, you're gonna love this one. Charlie Morton, John. 10.80 ERA, 1.95 FIP, 3.45 xFIP.
That means nothing to me for one star.
Nothing. I just wanted to. That's the only data we have. He
gave up 7 hits in a 3 1/3 innings. So not really.
Dude, we're picking between 2 pitchers that pitch poorly.
I don't think we're picking between either of them. I've already established. I'm just going to double stack Brown and Ryan and move on.
I know, but you got to. All right, we'll get creative elsewhere because I'm trying to think.
I mean, Houck is technically currently the money line favorite in that game. So if you're just going from that aspect of it, that's probably where you're going.
The minus 115 favorite.
Hey, it's a money line favorite. It is what it is. I mean, otherwise, Phillies, Taijuan Walker's minus 218 on the money line right now. Phillies are.
No. If you're only listening on audio, I am violently shaking my head.
All right. Well, if we go double spend Brown and Ryan, that gives us basically 4K play, which isn't that bad.
But we don't have a Cubs catcher. Where are they? Miguel and my.
No, his name's Hunter Goodman. You're gonna play Hunter Goodman.
No, it is literally Hunter Goodman. That's the guy.
Because he's been really good. Homered again on the Wednesday slate. Now they could go Stallings, which in that case is fine. I'll play Stallings. That's okay. Whatever. Play whoever the catcher is in that game. So happy to do that. We'll go Goodman there first, though. Again, I don't think we're going to have the money to be able to spend up for Adley. And
I play Real Muto.
He's been really bad. But, yeah, obviously, anything goes here in this matchup against Senzatello. So we'll start with Goodman, but Real Muto. Connor Wong's been really bad. They probably even give him the day off there.
Who?
Connor Wong.
Connor Wong?
Connor Wong has been struggling.
He has been.
First base, you got a $5,500 Bryce Hoppa. Go along with Michael Toglia going against Taijuan Walker. So you have the whole crew there.
The whole Duncan. What is the Duncan? Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the Boston. Whatever you guys commercial.
You could go Christian Walker if you wanted to.
Look, I'll say it. I'll say it.
Yeah.
This is the class. This is going to be the classic case of wake up in the morning feeling like not that guy.
Sure. I was going to say, where are we going here? Yeah.
No, can't. Definitely can't do that anymore.
Can't do that. Yeah. Not a good time.
That's right. What I said. No, not ever. Not a good time ever. Honestly, that song needs to be wiped from the earth. But just anyways, this is a classic case of wake up, early ownership, everyone playing Philadelphia. Taijuan Walker is a bad pitcher.
Yeah,
really bad pitcher. Michael Toglia has just had a really bad start to the year and is also a guy who hit a lot of home runs last year.
Does. His StatCast page is a lot of red.
You could not be you could have not sent more message. You had to lead the league in sent messages about Michael Tolia's StatCast page last year. I'm not disagreeing. I know you're going to pull it up. I know. Baseball, the Baseball Savant page is all red. The 2024 page is all red.
Just gonna show it.
It's a dude. Listen, when he is making contact, the guy is really good. And he gets to face a pitcher in Taijuan Walker. Last year, John, Taijuan Walker, 233 ISO to left-handed batters, 380 WOBA to left-handed batters.
Yeah. Nice. Super powerful. And don't be like, oh, well, he played in cores. No, he was actually road splits were like just as powerful. Yeah, batting average is going to be a problem. Look how red all of these other numbers are. So
he is a really good candidate, especially in this lineup that we're paying up for pitching. Colorado is going to be super low owned compared to Philly. I'm not saying don't play Philly, because I think as we walk through this, we're just going to play
Bryce Harper
both.
Obviously is a super legit play, and you can only pick one of them. This isn't FanDuel where you have the util spot, you know. You know, so you pay up for Harper. Tolia in the mid tier certainly make a lot of sense.
O'Hearn too, by the way. O'Hearn's been good.
The only two pitchers we don't really want to go against are Brown and Ryan, so everybody else is fair game. You want to go against Tanner Houck? You want to go against Charlie Morton? That's fine. Those games have 9.5 totals too. So, like, you know, but Tolia has ridiculous power. Mountcastle, better against lefties generally, but O'Hearn is a lefty against Houck there at $3,700. Perfectly good going in either direction. Costas probably gets the day off. He's been a little slumpish to begin the year, so wouldn't shock me if they sat him and went like Romy Gonzalez. We wouldn't play Romy, but wouldn't be surprised if he was in the lineup. At second base, again, those are the four games we're looking to target. Bryson Stott's 42, Jackson Holliday's $3,900. I kind of pre-plugged Christian Campbell in there because he's 35, doubled twice and scored a run on Wednesday. Maybe they give him a night off because he just got $80 million and he could be out there like partying tonight. Who knows? But if not, I mean, I will happily just keep plugging Christian Campbell until he's 4K at this point. I mean, he's made reach base every game of his major league career so far. So no reason not to kind of just go there at this point.
Yeah, I think there was a Rosenthal article that Boston shouldn't have called him up. And then because Ken Rosenthal just wants to be like,
sure,
they can't get away with this, calling this young player up who's really good and ready to play in the major leagues.
Yeah.
And then he's just proceeded to just get on base every game and be really good and hit for power, and the speed hasn't even popped yet, and like that's coming too.
He started games at second base and left field already this year as well. Like showing the versatility that he has.
Yeah, super valuable play.
The one player who should be upset about all of that is that Marcelo Mayer, who had the better spring and has homered 3 times in 3 games for Worcester. He's just like, I am ready to be here. I was drafted first round pick 4 years ago. I raked during spring, and like there's just not a spot for me because I'm a shortstop and Trevor Story's here. Well, the Red Sox needed a second baseman. So, at some point, and Roman Anthony homered twice in the same game the other day as well. By the end of May, I bet all those guys are in Boston, and harder decisions are being made. Maybe David Hamilton, who could start in this game against Charlie Morton, finds himself shipped out or sent down or something. I wouldn't mind David Hamilton if he started, though. We know the speed's there, and last year he kind of had surprising power at times as well. So if he ends up starting over Campbell or just in general starts like shortstop, I don't mind that as a little punt play, given what his speed upside is there. Anything else for you at second?
Yeah, Jackson Holliday, obviously. Yeah, 3,900 looks good. And I don't mind on smaller slates. I wouldn't mind, like, if I played a Hunter Brown, I would not mind having a one-off if that one-off is someone that can get on, steal a base, and score a run. Because like it's we're selecting from 2.5 pitchers essentially, right? Like in basically 2 games offensively. Like Willie Castro is a guy who started off the year pretty well, does have pop, does have speed, does have multi-position eligibility. He's really cheap. Like I'm okay on a smaller slate using one guy against a pitcher that I played.
That's fair. I mean, Altuve obviously more expensive, but fits that same build against Ryan. You know, third base again. Bregman up there had a couple of hits tonight. Devers a couple of hits tonight. Maybe finally starting to snap out of it. Up over $5,000. You have Alec Boehm, who I think we talked about this last year, actually had decent numbers against righties. It wasn't lefties that he was the better split side from. I think I'm thinking of that correctly, but you can confirm or deny if I'm making that up completely.
I will pull it up. Alec Boehm against lefties had a 186 ISO, 347 WOBA. So I'm going to go off and say that was probably the better split.
That was a better batting average maybe against righties. But
Alec Boehm against righties. I mean, he was good against righties. 160 ISO, 330 WOBA.
Okay.
Slightly better against lefties, but that's still good. 160 ISO is fine. 330 WOBA is fine, right? Like both those numbers are solid.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe the splits weren't even close to being as dramatic as I thought that they were there. But again, we're looking to get some. Yeah, he hit. You're right. The numbers there. 9 of his homers were against righties. Maybe that's what it was. More of his homers came against righties. Bohm's there. Westbrook is good. Westbrook is good, obviously. Ryan McMahon, lefty power against Taijuan Walker at 36.
Yeah, he's boring. Like he's very boring, but dude, I am more willing to play Rockies than I ever will be.
Except for Chris Bryant.
Poor guy.
Except for Chris Bryant. I mean, dude, if Edmundo Sosa is going to keep playing because Trey Turner, I mean, how do you sit this guy?
They did get Turner. They led Turner off on the
and they still played Sosa.
And they still played Sosa. Yeah, they moved Schwarber down. They switched their lineup around a little bit. But Sosa hit 8th, and he just can't.
What did he play today? What did Sosa play today?
He played. Let's see.
Second base. They played him second base today. So Stott did not play.
So I assume they would play Stott against, but it is obviously a good. It's worth mentioning. Trey Turner, night game or day game after a night game. Is he going to be available after after originally coming back?
They had a lefty on the mound in Freeland, which is why Stott sat. But how do you sit this dude right now? Agreed. I don't know who you would sit instead, but like
I know I'm looking at today's lineup. I don't know.
I don't know who you'd sit.
I don't know.
It'd be very like can he play the outfield? Sit Kepler? I don't know. Like,
So have they just been playing a lot of lefties? Like, has Philly just ran into because he's played 4 out of their 4 to 5. I know Turner was hurt
for one of them. So,
let's see. This one, he hit 9th the other day against Herman Marquez.
So this update from February says the Phillies are going to give Sosa reps in left and center field this spring. So
he played short the other day against a righty. So obviously Turner will be back in the lineup. And then he's played short. He played short against Mitchell Parker with Turner out of the lineup.
Yeah, I'm going to baseball reference because it'll show his defensive positions there. Let's see. Base or where do I look for this?
You scroll.
Fielding. Okay, all the way down. Yeah. So he's only played shortstop this year. He played 1 game in center field last year in 2023. In 2023, he played 1 game in center field for Phillies.
What's interesting is he did not start opening day against a lefty. He did not play against Mackenzie Gore.
Probably for the best. Or maybe not, because maybe they needed Gore in that one.
They won. They won 7-3.
Yeah, in the end.
They scored all the inning. They scored all the runs off the bullpen.
Well, if Emmanuel Sosa's in the lineup, I will play him.
Agreed.
We'll just end it there.
Fully agree. Fully agree.
Shortstop, Trey Turner, 56. We'll see if Gunnar Henderson's back or debuting or not at $5,500. Story, $4,000, made his first homer of the year tonight. Mentioned Jackson Holiday. Could be your Tovar spot. You mentioned wanting to play some Colorado. $3,800. Tovar, some speed, some power. Then kind of shouted out already Sosa, Hamilton, and Mateo there.
Yeah, I like Trevor Story. I think a lot of people are going to be on Trey Turner. I think a lot of people will probably try to jam Philly, and you will see a lot of ownership on either Walker or Boston Baltimore pitcher, like whatever the case is, just to make sure you get more Philly in their lineup. So if you can get to Turner, by all means do it. Trevor Story's bat looks pretty good the last couple games. Jackson Holiday looks good. Jeremy Pena is another guy profiles that can get on and steal a base, even if you're playing a Joe Ryan. But that's it. I mean, Tovar is my guy here. I know another Rocky that has stunk and oh my God, who is this guy talking Rockies? Listen, Taijuan Walker has been a really bad pitcher for multiple years. There's a reason why we're talking Taijuan Walker so much.
Great. We'll just plug Schwarber in already against Senzatella. That feels like an obvious spot there. Duran up here. Doyle at 44. Weiler's 43. Kepler, Mullins, a whole crew here.
Yeah, Schwarbs looks great. Can always play Jordan. Always can play Jarren Duran.
Sure.
Castellanos was fine against righties. O'Neill, profiles best against lefties, but he's had a good start to the year. Definitely a Brenton Doyle spot if you want to go to Brenton Doyle. I know he's also another guy that's just better against lefties, but if you want to play Brenton Doyle, you can. Weiler's looked great. Short, obviously big wall in right, but it's a short distance to travel. So I definitely like Weiler Abreu there. Kepler will be in the lineup.
I was surprised they got Kepler when they already had Marsh. I feel like there's a redundancy.
Yeah, a little redundancy there. Yeah. Mullins is obviously off to a great start this year. You can definitely play some Sedmol.
Mm-hmm. Kjerstad will be in the lineup versus Houck.
Yep, Kjerstad will be in the lineup.
Harrison Bader homered again, by the way.
Dude, didn't we comment that it was a problem that he was leading the team in home runs, then he homered again? I mean, I feel like he does this. He goes on these weird runs where it's Harrison Bader, really? But I mean, yeah. You know who our min salary punt is? Mickey Moniak. If Mickey Moniak's in the starting lineup.
Yeah. He homered in his first at bat for them. That's not bad, dude. We know there's some power there. So
is there a reason he was cut? Do we know that? Has there been anything confirming why he was just randomly cut right before the season started?
I don't think so. But we can do this. You only have one Philly. You said you wanted to play a lot of Colorado, so there you go.
You just played a guy who can't hit.
No, Devers had 2 hits tonight.
I'm just kidding. I am not up in arms and panicking that Rafael Devers is going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah, he had a bad series. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, what do you?" No,
trade him. Just send him down. Get rid of him, guys.
All right. So obviously, again, we're putting this together. It's 3 games. You got to get a little crazy with it. Hunter Brown and Joe Ryan going against one another, but they legit maybe the only 2 guys to score double-digit fantasy points at the pitcher position on this slate. Goodman, Tolia, Campbell, Devers, Tovar, Schwarber, Abreu, and Moniak. You're gonna have to bear with us. We'll see who's in the starting lineup or not. You can get all your questions answered in the Discord. We will have the playbook written up for you guys early in the morning there as well. Let us know. Who are you playing? If you're not pitching Brown and Ryan, are you looking to pitch somebody else? Who's your favorite player to put in your lineup? Who's your favorite Philly, Rocky, Red Sox, Oriole? Let us know. Put them in the chat. We'll talk to you throughout the day. We'll be back for the Friday, much more appealing main slate, and we'll see you then.